Welcome to Gyro Plays Lonely Mountains Downhill on the Nintendo Switch. We just unlocked Mount Riley pretty recently, so we're gonna keep continuing on to that, unlocking everything. So there's your 30-second spiel of the actual gameplay. So here's the rest. If you haven't noticed, that's it's pretty much the flow of Lonely Mountains currently. when we're starting off, we're really just trying to unlock everything. So also, let's go ahead and do the pace breaker run. So let's back out of that. But yeah, Lonely Mountains on the Switch, pretty good stuff. I feel like there's a couple good things coming out on the Switch. I just got Fury Unleashed. The Taurus is really good. Fishing Star World Tour was on sale recently, and I have Fishing Simulator, Fish Pro Simulator, something like that. And it was pretty good, but it like looked so awful. Everything looked like mud. Like I hate to say it, but everything looked like PUBG. So as much as I enjoyed the game, it just aesthetic matters quite a bit for me. And that's not like a graphics thing. Like the Tourist is really cool. Like a huge part of it is because of how clean everything looks. Like it's a solid looking game, and it feels good to play. And that really helps propel a game, I would say. I don't know. I don't think I'm alone in this in this on this side of the coin, I guess you could say. You know, aesthetics matter a lot. Like the gameplay matters quite a bit too, but for me, you know, I'm pretty big on the aesthetic part, as you can tell by the Lonely Mountains, especially when it comes to games that I'm streaming. But you know, it doesn't that's not 100% true. Like okay, so an example is this Fury Unleashed game. I had to push the home button because I keep calling it like Furry Unleashed is a funny one. The other one's Fury. What did I type as my stream title recently? Like Fury Attack or something. That's a Pokemon move. But yeah, essentially the aesthetics of that game, like it looks like a mobile zombie slaying game. I'm trying to remember the game's name. It's like Zombie Killer. Hold on, this is worth a Google. Google zombie mobile game iOS. Where are you? Side scroller. Zombie Age. So Zombie Age 1, 2, 3. Like if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It kind of looks like Mini Clip. It kind of looks like, you know, those old school type Flash games. Which initially I was just like, it's 2020, bro. Just you gotta pull something a little bit more unique art style wise than that to get you going. So first impressions were a little bit rough. The comic book presentation of that game though, pretty neat. It's pretty cool. Being on the Switch is a huge boon. Like I'm glad I didn't Like, I'm glad it's one of those games that I didn't find out about like while it was in early access on Steam. Because just like, you know, One Step from Eden, I want the game like to be able to be played by myself. Because whenever I'm playing at home, I'm probably streaming, which means I'm gonna be streaming that game. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I need it to be able to be played like off camera for me to like get good at it, like good enough to be able to stream it while playing. Because believe it or not, and this isn't just a streamer excuse, game play acumen, you know, drops by a staggering amount, exponentially, depending on the person. You know, depending on like if you're streaming it or not. There's a streaming debuff. Not so much when I'm recording a video, although a little bit, because a huge part of my brain functions are being used to you know, to figure out what I'm gonna be talking about next, you know. Yeah. That's why the ums. That's why the But yeah, I've kind of been inching away from roguelike stuff, although I feel like it's just mostly just out of the like sheer the pog levels for like crowd wise. I feel like roguelikes, you have to actually be like playing that game as well to be able to understand what's going on the screen. I don't know if anybody agrees with that, but like, you know, One Step from Eden was so hard to follow because there's just nonstop, everything's going high octane. If you didn't play that game, you're like, I don't know what's going on. This is like watching like a championship Dota match, like fight after fight. You know, maybe Fury Unleashed is a little bit more down to earth. It's more like a Hollow Knight meets Gungeon, with like RPG elements outside. You know, you got your upgrades a la Rogue Legacy. I know I'm just listing off a bunch of roguelites. But yeah, the graphics really put me away though for a second. Until I started seeing, oh, there's quite a bit of meat. There's quite a lot of meat on that bone. You throw that in some boiling water, add some potatoes, got some carrots. Baby, you got a stew going. Baby, you got a stew going. I don't know if I could do a better... Well, okay, hold on, focus. I was about to say Childish Gambino's name, like his real name, which my brain can't say the actual... now I'm thinking Troy. Donald Glover? Danny Glover? Danny Glover is the guy that I'm thinking of, right? Donald is Gambino. Is it... brain cannot compute. I just finished streaming, and I was already like yawning at the beginning of the stream. That's one thing I wanted to talk about. I guess I never want to stream like seeming like I'm tired. Although I think it's probably something that's very evident. Like that's a tough thing to try to hide. Is like that you're tired. You know, you just worked like I worked from 8 to 5:30 today, and then my wife's trying to like coordinate with me, you know, let me to get dinner. You know, just lots of stuff happened today. You know, lots of lots of insanity, and I just I really should be in bed now. But I'm like, you know what? Lonely Mountain sounds like a good way to just wind down. And I hope you guys like watching these to wind down too. Although, you know, ironically, they come out at 7 a.m. EST. So you can use them to wind up as well. But yeah, streams, I was gonna say streams have been going well, but you know, I don't know. It's funny because I don't care about the numbers, but I do care about the interaction. Like, I want to, like, when I don't know, when you make a joke, you want people to go, ha, that was good, or ha, that was lame. Yeah, any sort of reaction is pretty cool. I mean, obviously, I'm not like the best joke creator. So a lot of times it's met with like, that was dumb. But, you know, you can just, I'm gonna choose to believe that you just have a smaller brain. No, not a smaller brain. That's so rude. Or you just don't get it, you know? You don't get the artistry of the joke. I can't even say this without hating every single fiber of my being. Okay, go smoothly. Okay. And I'm trying to pepper in a bunch of other streams where I'm playing with my brother, or playing with like a bud of mine that I, you know, have like extreme chemistry with, etc., etc. But you know, that's all part of the whole thing. The main thing I want is just consistency right now. Oh, you sound like you know, you sound like my ex-girlfriend. Maybe I am your ex-girlfriend. Didn't you? I bet you didn't think about that. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Like I said, can I pull the tired card now? Probably not. Probably shouldn't, at least. But yeah. Well, you're asking about my day? Oh, how nice. You know, other than me complaining about, you know, being tired, I forgot that I had, you know, the rest of the day. But yeah, I mean, being tired is not an excuse for a lack of personality. I like that phrase a lot. Being X is not an excuse, or is like a bad excuse. Is like so like growing a mustache instead of growing a personality, you know, things like that. That's funny because I think it comes across as like a pretty mean-spirited joke, which I'm like completely fine with. Because they're the that was a yawn. The pause there. Because honestly, it's the perfect response to like people that care too much about like your clothes, or like how you talk, how you walk, things like that. It's just like I mean, I guess how you talk could be part of your personality, but like it's weird because it's exactly like a very anti like high school kind of way of thinking, is that you want to be like as the best of a person you can be, instead of like being the best person that everybody wants you to be, you know. I like that a lot. I like that line of thinking the best. But Whoa. Yeah, but my day has been it's slight chaos, but it's Monday, you know? Like Monday is supposed to be a little bit chaotic. You just kind of, it's one of those days you gotta just like push through. You know, for a lot of people, you know, their work weeks start on Mondays. So, but honestly, like, I don't know. It's on like my job does a pretty good job of making Mondays a little bit easier, especially compared to the rest of the week. There we go. I could go into the details of that, but just, you know, you just take me for my word at that point. But it did rain for 90% of the day. We had maybe, I had maybe 2 half hours where it didn't rain, where I could take off my rain hat and just kind of like breathe. It's not too bad though, but it was on the cusp. I was just saying how like last week I had my first day of rain that was warm. It was like 72 degrees out, and the rain was like refreshing. I didn't care that my shoes were wet. I didn't care that, you know, this and that. I couldn't read the addresses, etc., etc. It just, you know, it felt pretty good actually. But today, it was more like 64 degrees, which is just enough to be like a little bit uncomfortable. You know, my tolerance level, I can push through like a lot of things. You know, it doesn't faze me that much. Like a little bit of pain here and there, or like, yeah, knowing that there's a finish line. But I was also like running late because I was given a section that I've never done before, so I was running late there. And just you know, there's just, yeah, this is basically just a whole stream of consciousness saying that I deserve a good night's rest tonight. You know, we did a 2-hour stream of tourist, tourist, and that went really well. People had a good time, I think. Yeah, I can't complain. It was a solid Monday. Got a lot of stuff done, so can't complain about that. This is like a quintessential day. You know, you do the work that needs to be done, and then you have some fun under the sun, which I guess that part's not true at all. It was under mostly clouds, just like the rest of the week. But tomorrow's not gonna rain, so thank goodness for that. Hopefully. Weathermen don't know what they're talking about though, for the most part. Unfortunately. Like I've been much more closely aware of what the weather's gonna be, obviously, because I'm working outside. The predictions for the next like 4 or 5 days changes daily. Everything moves forward, backward, etc., etc. I'm just like, you know, if I could just toss a coin and say, I mean, this joke's been done before my time, but you can honestly just write down anything and be like, yep, that's the weather today. Oh, that's a good yawn. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thanks for listening in. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Blue mustard, that looks real nice. I like the combination of those colors. But yeah, thanks for watching today's episode of Lonely Mountains Downhill. Yeah, I appreciate your support just by watching it, honestly. I'm going to leave it at that. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.